Hello, Boba Croeso noi benod nieuwits bono bodlediad not tua. Vi ich kifwined adima benod no arhogain. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Not Tuah Podcast. I'm your host, and this is episode 29. It is currently 10:10 a.m. on the 17th of May, 2025. 10:10 sounds like Ben 10. Used to be a big fan of Ben 10 back in the day. I had an Omnitrix, like the watch from the show. I had one from like the original series. I had one from Alien Force, and then I also had one technically from Ultimate Alien. I had one in that I think it was a knockoff maybe. But the first two, those were definitely like original OG. I paid my dues to the Ben 10 company. I believe it's Man of Action in the company that makes Ben 10. I don't know why they're called that, but today's introduction was done in Welsh. Welsh, the language of Wales, the oft-forgotten country of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So, Wales, if you don't know, Wales has the world's longest place name. Wales, world longest town name. Yeah, Lanfair Pul Gwing Gelo Geri Quern Drobulant Isilio Gogogoch. So I'm basically that one weatherman guy. So apparently it's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be like confusing. It's not because a lot of places they choose like long confusing names as like a publicity stunt, but this one isn't supposed to be a publicity stunt, I think. Let me check Wikipedia, hang on. Oh, no, never mind. The long name was supposedly contrived in 1869 as an early publicity stunt to give the station the longest name of any railway station in Britain. According to Sir John Morris Jones, the name was created by a local tailor. Interesting. So the translation of Lanfairpul Ging Gilo Geri Quern Drobul Antilio Gogogoch. It translates to St. Mary's Church in the hollow of the White Hazel near to the rapid whirlpool of Lanticillo of the Red Cave. Lanticillo probably being like the original name, I guess. So that's Wales. Apparently the locals just call it Lanfairpul. So like the first three syllables, I guess. Lanfairpul. Okay, what was I gonna talk about before I went on my Wales tangent? Why is it called Wales? Hang on. So what came first, Wales the fish or Wales the country? Etymology, here we go. The English word Wales and Welsh derive from the same Old English root Wales, a descendant of the Proto-Germanic Walhaz, which was itself derived from the name of the Gauls known to the Romans as Volcae. This term was later used to refer indiscriminately to inhabitants of the Western Roman Empire. Okay. Okay. So, according to Wikipedia here, the etymology of Wales, so Proto-Germanic is Walhaz, which means foreigner, and so the Romans called the Welsh foreigners, so they called them Walhaz. And then the Proto-Germanic was derived from Volcae, which was a Gaelic tribal confederation. So before the Romans, in sort of Wales, around Wales, there was a tribal confederation named Volcae, and so that transformed into the Proto-Germanic Walhaz, which then got derived into Old English as Wales, and today in English it's Wales. So there we go. Now I can put this podcast under educational. That's always what I'm trying to do. I'm always trying to shove this podcast in places where it doesn't belong. Right? Yeah, okay. So we talked about Ben 10, we talked about Wales. What's next? I can talk about a movie. I saw a movie yesterday. The Conclave, the movie about what would happen if the Pope died, that came out like 2 weeks before the Pope died. It didn't actually come out 2 weeks before the Pope died. It just like got famous before the Pope died because it was nominated for an Oscar, I think. It debuted on like the festival circuit in October last year, which honestly, listen, no hate to the film festivals around the world. I don't think that should count as the movie's premiere, right? I think when you say a movie premiered, I think you should say like when the general public can go see it. Like when does it hit theaters? I think that should be considered the release date of a movie, not its festival circuit. It hit like actual theaters, like real people could go and watch it. It hit that in like November, I think. So, I mean, I wonder. Do you think those guys are happy that the Pope died? Cause they're like that is marketing. You can't get any better promotion than that. I mean, that's why I watched the movie. The Pope died, and I was like, I wonder what they get up to in there, and so I watched this movie about what they get up to in there. Like sometimes you just say a thing, but your brain shuts off for a second, so it's like you know that you said something that was coherent, but to you it sounded like you just made some noises. That happened to me just now. I forgot what I said that triggered it, but that just happened to me just now. Like, got to go, you say it, your brain shuts off, it sounds like gotta go. I gotta go. He gotta go, He gotta go. I got to go. Okay. So yeah, The Conclave. It's a good movie. I don't know why I liked it so much. See, again, I am like the worst movie critic. I'm the worst critic of anything, honestly. Cause the extent of my reviews, the best I can do, yeah, I'm good. Or nah, man, that shit sucked. That shit sucked. It was trash. Um, but no, this movie was good. I liked it. Would recommend. Um, Ralph Fiennes or Ralph Fiennes. How do you pronounce his name? Ralph Fiennes. R- Holy shit. Ralph Nathaniel Twizzleton Wycombe Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes is what it says on Wikipedia. He was good in the movie. He's been in a lot of movies that I liked recently. I liked The Menu, you know, the one with him and the chess Anya Taylor Joy. Um, Both of them were in it, and also I think the that one guy from Inception. I think he was in the movie too. The Menu is also a good movie. I recommend you all. I think okay. I said, oh, he's in a lot of movies that I liked recently. That was not recent. The Menu came out like 2022, I think, maybe. But that was a good movie. The Conclave is a good movie. He was also in Harry Potter. He was Voldemort. Ooh. I mean, sorry, he was he who shall not be named. um. Okay, Ralph Fiennes on screen and stage. Okay, let's see. What would I know him in? Um. Yeah, he was in Conclave. He was in The Menu. He was in the Kingsman movie apparently. Oh, he was in the Grand Budapest. The Grand Budapest is like the one Wes Anderson movie that I think is okay. That's probably because it's the first one that I saw, and so I wasn't like sick of his whole shtick. But yeah, so he was in the Grand Budapest as well. Apparently, he was in the Lego Batman movie. That's fun. He was in all of the Lego movies apparently. Oh no, never mind. He was just in the second one as Alfred Pennyworth. Okay. Um, he was. Yeah, he was in all the Harry Potters, of course. He was in Wallace and Gromit. That's fun. He was in. He was in the Avengers. Oh, from 1998. So that's just not. That has nothing to do with Marvel Avengers, I guess. He was in Schindler's List. Okay. I haven't seen Schindler's List. Oh, television. Here we go. Nope. No, nothing here. Theater. I don't see theater. Video games. He was in the Harry Potter video games. Okay. Okay, well, whatever. So that's Ref Fiennes. Good actor. He's chosen his roles well, I have to say. Um, Shout out to that guy. Okay. Speaking of things that I've been doing recently, um, as you might remember from a previous episode of the podcast, I've been looking into getting my driver's license again. Here's the story about my life turned upside down. No. Here's my story with the driver's license. So in 2023, 2023, during summer vacation, I signed up for a driving school And they were like, yeah, man, it's chill, man. Don't worry about it, man. We're gonna teach you to drive. We're gonna get you your license. Everything's gonna be A-okay. So I signed up, went to their class, and they taught me how to drive. It was a manual car because the driving license test here is done in a manual car, I believe. Because automatic transmissions are like super expensive, and so a piss poor, dirt poor, broke ass developing country like India, we can't afford such luxuries as an automatic transmission. So they teach everyone on manual transmissions. Um, Even though the driving school that I'm in now allows you to learn in automatic transmission, even though the test is done on a manual transmission, I don't know what's up with that. Um, but yeah, so that's that. I went over, I signed up. This was in 2023. Went over, signed up, attended their classes. I took like a 30-day course, and then at the end of the 30 days, I went over to the driving license office. Um, I got my learner's license. That was a weird experience. Okay, so like the whole thing with the driving license instance in India, it is messed up because essentially you just bribe the police officers. The driving license test is conducted by local like traffic police. And so all the driving schools, I did not know that all the driving schools they just bribe the police officers. They're like, hey guys, here's a little something something. How about you make sure my students pass? Kavish. So I did not know that. So I spent like a day or something studying for the test. For a learner's license, you just need to write a theory test, and the theory test is basically, oh, what is this road sign? What is that road sign? Um, so I spent like one day or something studying for the test. And then I pulled up to the driving license place, and from my driving school, they gave me like a piece of paper along with my application. They were like, listen, you gotta give this to the traffic police guy who'll be taking your test. So I went over there, I handed the traffic police woman my paper, that piece of paper, and she was like, okay. And she took the test for me. She pointed at one road sign. I think it was like the give way, maybe. I don't know. It was some road sign. So she pointed at it. She was like, "What road sign is this?" I was like, "Oh, that's that one." And she was like, "Okay." There were like 15 questions on the test. She asked me one of them. She answered all the others. Um, and so she got them all correct, obviously. And then they printed out my learner's license. Learner's license is just a printout on an A4 size piece of paper. Printed it out, handed it to me, and she was like, "Okay, go, bye bye." I was like, "Huh? We're done. That's it." She was like, "Yeah, that's it." I had my learner's license in my hand, and so I went back to the driving office, the driving school, and I showed them like, "Hey guys, here's my learners. I got it. Yippee!" And so they're like, "Okay, cool. You see that on the bottom? It says you can apply for a permanent driving license after 30 days. So come back to us in 30 days and we will get you your full license." And then I forgot. I forgot that it said 30 days. Cause I thought after my learner's license expires, that's when I go in for the real license, the full license. So instead of waiting 30 days, I waited 6 months. And then once the 6 months were up, because the learner's license expires in 6 months. Once the 6 months were up, I went over to the driving school, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm here for my full license." And they were like, nah, mate. Nah, we told you to come after 1 month. You came after 6 months. Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah, right. You're gonna need to pay us again. So yeah, that's what happened there. So we were like, nah, fuck that. We're not gonna pay you again, man. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And so for the rest, entirety of 2024, I just didn't have a license. I was still driving around. I didn't have a license. And then come 2025, my mom is like, I'm sick of driving. The next time I come to India, I'm not driving anywhere, bro. I'm not driving anywhere. And so I had to pick up the slack, get my license. Because you know how women be, bro. Women be shopping. Um, so, so I gotta drive her around now. Like a chauffeur. Chauffeur. Me when I'm playing Uno and I just put down, or my opponent just put down a red 4, and I don't have any red cards, so I need to match on number. Show 4. That's me to my deck of cards. Show 4. Fucking stupid. Um, yeah. So, as you could probably imagine, I'm a bit rusty because yeah, it's like sure I've driven around bikes, motorbikes, two-wheeled, engine-powered vehicles. I've driven those around for the past year and a half. I have not driven a car in quite a while, and so I went back to a driving school. I was like, hey guys, is there any chance you could just like give me your car for a couple days? I just want to practice, de-rust myself, get back into the swing of things. And so they're like, yeah, okay. And I signed up for like a 10-day practice thingy. So just for the next week, I'm already 3 days in. For the next 7 days. Well, I guess not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday. But for the next little bit, um, they'll be pulling up at like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. They'll be here, and I get to have a little drive around in their car. So, so yeah, again, it's a manual transmission. I remember in 2023 my first go round at this. I remember being like, manual fucking sucks, bro. I don't know why people like to drive manual. Automatic is so much easier. Um, so that was what happened in my first attempt, but the second time, going on right now, I don't know what happened. I kind of get it now. I get the appeal for a manual transmission. I like how in control of the vehicle I feel. I like reaching down to like shift the gear. That feels very professional. Um, I like when you let go of the clutch and the transmission connects to the wheels and you can kind of feel that. I like that. That feels pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels better to me. That being said, the car that we have in our house that we own, that is an automatic transmission. So I won't be able to do a lot of manual transmitting anytime soon unless I buy my own car, which I'm not gonna do that shit, bro. I'm not gonna do that. I'll just drive around in this automatic transmission. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, that's my thing. I like. I wouldn't say I like. I wouldn't say I prefer. Maybe I do. But like the thing is, I get it. I understand why people like manual transmission now. Okay, let's get into the topic for this week's episode. If you'll remember last week, I was excited for the weekend's concert, opening night last week, and I was like, I can't wait, I can't wait. Yippee, I'm so excited. It turns out I should not have been excited. So opening night for the weekend, the show was good, from what I've seen. The show was good. The lights were lighting. The statue was statuing. The screen was screening. Dancers were dancing. My main complaint about the show was that he forgot some of the lyrics. Which, I feel like as a singer at a concert that people are paying hundreds of dollars to get into, I feel like you probably should remember the lyrics to your songs, right? Let me pull up a clip here. Oops. Let me pull up a clip here. I did not plan on doing this segment, because normally if I want to play audio on a podcast, I need to launch a separate program and then feed my mic in through that. Because what that program does, it takes my computer audio and it takes my mic audio and it puts it all through one sort of audio stream, because Audacity can only record from one audio stream. So, but I didn't think I'd be playing audio today, so I didn't launch that program. So I need to play it on my phone, I guess. Can you guys hear that? I think you can. Okay. Yeah, listen to this. This is copyright infringement. Listen to this. Okay, can you... Yeah. I don't know, that's sad. It's sad. Especially because, that's my favorite song. That's the one I wanted to hear the most. And, he forgot all the lyrics. It's 2 verses, he's just repeating, the first couple lines of the second verse. Just repeating that the whole time. Which, it is sad. Mr. Weekend, Mr. End, if you are listening, do know this is coming from a place of love. Okay, I want nothing more than for you to put on a banger of a show. Okay? And I think, little constructive criticism here, I think as part of that, I suggest you remember your lyrics. That's all. I know people have been complaining about the set list, about the choice of songs, which, sure, whatever, that's, people are entitled to their opinion about what songs should be on the set list, what songs shouldn't be. I see a couple notable misses of the set list, but that's not my main complaint. My main complaint, again, you gotta remember your lyrics, man. I'm sorry. You gotta remember your lyrics. Yeah, there's that. Let me drink some water here, and then we'll talk about Fortnite. I know you guys love to see me talk about Fortnite. Okay. So let's talk about Fortnite. I have actually two Fortnite related topics that I'd like to talk about today. Ooh. So I guess let's talk about um, let's talk about Fortnite versus Apple to start with. So for those unaware, a couple of years ago, I think even during the pandemic, a couple of years ago, um, Fortnite sort of sorry about that. Fortnite reduced the pricing of V-Bucks, and they did that across every platform, and they did that essentially by removing the platform's cut. So let's say 1,000 V-Bucks cost $10, right? If you buy it on PC, they will be $10. But if you buy it on console or on mobile, they would cost $11 because the App Store, the Play Store, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they would take like a 10% cut of all in-app purchases, basically. So PC players are buying V-Bucks for $10. Um, Console and mobile players, they were buying it for $11. And so Epic Games brought down the prices. So it was like $10 universal, no matter what platform you were on. And they did it by basically saying, nah, mate, we're not going to pay you your platform fee. So I don't know what happened with the consoles. I don't know what happened with Sony, Microsoft, and Xbox, Microsoft and Nintendo. I don't know what kind of deal they worked out, but like Fortnite is still available on PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. But on mobile, the iOS App Store and the Google Play Store, uh, the game is not on there, not allowed. And so there was a big, lengthy court case, huge court case where Epic Games was like, listen, it's kind of monopolistic that these mobile app stores, these mobile devices, they only allow players to download games from their official store, but then they also take like a 10% cut on all purchases made through the store. We don't think that's fair. We think you should either get rid of the 10% cut or you should allow players to install games from other sources. So with Android, this wasn't much of an issue because people could just install APKs. So Fortnite was back on Android, no problem. Um, but Apple, with their iOS, iPhone, iPad, iPod devices, I don't think you can play Fortnite on an iPod. But with their iPhone and iPad, they're like, nah, man, nah, mate, we're not doing this shit. And so they went to court over this. I think Epic Games sued Apple for the ability to like be able to get a third-party store on there. Um, so that was the whole thing. Um, I think in the EU, they voted to like allow side loading, which is basically like installing an APK. They voted to allow that on iPhones. So in the EU only, Fortnite is back on iPhone because you can just side load the official Epic Games store, and you can download Fortnite from there on your iPhone. In the US, however, and in the rest of the world, I guess. In the rest of the world, um, shit, what was I saying? Right, in the rest of the world, de nada. That's not happening. The rest of the world, the only way to install an app on your phone officially is by the App Store. So the lengthy court case. Uh, at one point, it looked like Fortnite had the upper hand. At one point, it looked like Epic Games had the other upper hand. Blah 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 blah, and it kept going like that until eventually a decision was reached. Not entirely sure what the decision was, but I know that Fortnite is coming back to the iOS Apple App Store. Or so we thought. That's right, bitches. Um, so apparently, I guess Epic Games might have won the lawsuit because now Apple is faulty. Apple used to be sweet, but now Apple's faulty. Um, so Fortnite published their app. Their app is under review, and usually an app takes less than 48 hours to get reviewed and approved and ready to go. However, Fortnite specifically, it's taking much longer than it usually does. Okay, and so people are thinking, okay, well, Epic is just, no, sorry, Apple is just butthurt that they lost their court case, and so they're, kind of trying to shaft um, Epic Games by taking so long to approve their app, because this Friday, the 16th, they were contractually obligated to drop an update featuring Jar Jar Binks, I think. It's the Star Wars season of Fortnite, man. I'm not keeping up with that shit no more. But they were contractually obligated to drop an update on the 16th, and they sent their iOS app in for approval like a couple days before the 16th. And so Apple was like, well, we can just delay the approval of the app, and we can just say, oh, we're experiencing a higher volume of app reviews than usual. And like, that's a feasible excuse, basically. That's like a legal excuse that can work for them. So basically, Fortnite had to pull their iOS iPhone app. They had to pull that because they were contractually obligated to release that update on all platforms at the same time. So if it comes to the 16th of May, and Android, PC, console, they all have the Jar Jar Binks update, but iPhone is still running on an older version of Fortnite. That's no good. They can't have that happen. So they had to pull the iPhone app, and that's currently where we are. Apple is being sort of childish. Again, if the story is true that they're like, purposely delaying the app just to spite Epic, Apple is behaving very childish here. It's a video game, man. It's fucking Fortnite. Get over it. It's been like 3 or 4 years by this point. Get over it. Okay. And now for my second Fortnite related news story. In yesterday's Jar Jar Binks update, they have dropped an AI voice over Darth Vader. Yeah, so I'm on the official Fortnite blog right now, and this article is titled "This will be a day long remembered. Speak with Darth Vader in Fortnite. Strategize with the ultimate Sith Lord with your voice, and he'll respond back using conversational AI. Darth Vader has touched down once again as the boss in Battle Royale, replacing Darth Vader Samurai. Be the first to recruit him, and your whole team will be able to take turns talking to the Dark Lord. Just remember to press the special Darth Vader button that'll pop up to talk to him. Ask him all your pressing questions about the Force, the Galactic Empire, or, a good strat for the last Storm Circle. The Sith Lord has opinions. Darth Vader wouldn't be nearly as sinister without the legendary performance of James Earl Jones, who voiced Vader in the Star Wars films. We're honored to feature the voice of the late Mr. Jones, and we thank his estate for the opportunity to make this happen for players. James Earl felt that the voice of Darth Vader was inseparable from the story of Star Wars, and he always wanted fans of all ages to continue to experience it. We hope that this collaboration with Fortnite will allow both longtime fans of Darth Vader and newer generations to share in the enjoyment of this iconic character. That's a quote from the family of James Earl Jones. That is fucking crazy, man. Using a dead guy's voice in Fortnite to voice Darth Vader, basically Hitler, using a dead guy's voice to be Hitler in Fortnite. What the fuck? The dialogue of Darth Vader's AI responses is generated using Google's Gemini 2.0 Flash model, and the audio itself is generated by 11 Labs Flash V 2.5 model. That I I I have not I don't know what to say. Let's read the comment here. It's been 1 hour and people already got him yelling slurs. What the hell? Okay, there's a clip. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Oh my god. They already got him to say like a slur for gay people. That's crazy. Again, I didn't think I'd be playing audio today. Imagine Darth Vader calling you a slur. That's basically what just happened. Listen, Fortnite. This is not coming from a place of love, because I don't love the Star Wars season, and I hope it ends as soon as possible. Okay, get rid of this feature. Get rid of this feature. No one asked for it. No one likes it. I'm sure there's some nerd out there that likes it, but get rid of this feature. You don't want Darth Vader running around calling people slurs, right? Get rid of the feature. Cut it. Call it. Can it. Okay? Okay? Please. Thank you. Okay. Let's end it there. Let's end it on that high note, I guess. Yeah, this has been episode 29 of the Not Tuah Podcast. I've been your host. Thank you all for watching, thank you all for listening, and I will see you all later. Bye bye, everybody.